not gonna lie to you, I wanted to save this video until I hit 100k subs. But I felt led by the Holy Spirit to share this video. I gotta do whatever God says. If He wants me to do it, I gotta do it. And I was a little hesitant to make this video, not because it's like super personal or traumatic or anything. It's because I'm kind of like a low-key private dude, and I'm cool with talking in person, like the story about the share, the crazy story about the share, but on the internet where millions and billions of people are, you can see it. It's kind of like, didn't really want them to know my business, but hey man, I'm still gonna do it anyway. As you can see by the title and thumbnail, I'm gonna share you my Crohn's disease story. Yes, I have Crohn's disease. I got diagnosed at 14 years old, but I started having the symptoms at 13. But first, let me explain to you what Crohn's disease is. It's basically when your small or lower intestine is inflamed and your body is killing off the good bacteria, even though it's supposed to fight off the bad bacteria, and like you don't digest food properly, it just goes right through you, and you start experiencing symptoms like weight loss, fatigue, going to the bathroom like probably close to like 10 times a day, like no joke. So let me get into my story. So let me take you back to October 2018, the beginning of 8th grade year. I remember I started experiencing symptoms like weight loss, fatigue, going to the bathroom, like no joke, probably like the max I remember is probably like 7-8 times a day, no exaggeration. Just having painful poops, because this stinging and this painful was the poop, because I did it so much, you know what I mean? And I don't remember, I had blood sometimes, but it was not good. Number 3, I had to go, it was a lot of number 3. I remember during that time in the end of 8th grade, I think I was going to the doctors to see what's up, like why is this happening? They were saying I might have Crohn's disease, inflammatory bowel disease, and all that stuff. Towards the end of 8th grade, the doctors were recommending that I get like a colonoscopy. So during that time period, I was still having symptoms. And the day before my colonoscopy, before you get a colonoscopy, you have to clear your guts out. So I had to drink a big like lemonade can of like laxative to mix the lemonade, I think. Or I forgot what I had it with, but I just did it to clear my guts out. I didn't finish it all. I finished like 3/4 because I was super duper duper full, bro. I remember one time, like towards the end of it, I took one sip. Yeah, I immediately like got up, rushed to the sink, and I threw up a little bit of clear liquid because I was super full, bro. So the next day, July 8th, 2019, the day I'll never forget and I'll forever be ingrained in my mind. The day that my life changed. So it was like, I think it was like a Monday. I went in super duper early in the morning, like 6, 7, 8 in the morning. I went to the hospital, a part of the hospital room. I went in. I got changed in my gowns, like a waiting room area, kind of. And there's a kid right next to me that he was gonna go before me. I don't know what he was in for, but he went in first. Probably took, I don't remember, like an hour or so. And then I went in. They took me to a back room to put me to sleep. I remember as they were doing it, putting like the mask over me, like saying like, "Can you feel anything?" Like the doctor's like, "You feel anything?" Like, can't feel. I was like, that's how I was fading. I can't feel my toes. Like, yeah, you can't. That's normal. And then I blacked out, and then I woke up in the same waiting room, just laying there waiting for the anesthesia to wear off. And what I'm about to say next is gonna shock you, bro. It's gonna absolutely shock you. So while I was laying there, waiting for the anesthesia to wear off, bro, my intestine exploded inside of my stomach. Legit exploded. Like right then and there. I remember I was screaming, crying. I don't remember the initial feeling of it exploding. I just remember like screaming and crying, just going crazy, bro. Because my mom told me that the doctor told my mom that during the colonoscopy, my intestine was like so inflamed, all bloody, like all like pus, just all messed up. It's kind of like a ticking time bomb in a way. That's why it exploded, because it was so inflamed, you know what I mean? So I remember I was screaming and crying. I remember my mom carrying me to the bathroom because I thought I had poop or something. I thought I was just like stocked up, congested. I didn't know what happened. I was still under that anesthesia a little bit, so sleepy. While I was screaming and crying, I was like in there, felt like a minute, but apparently I was in there for like 10 plus minutes. It didn't feel like that. And my mom carried me back to the bed like a baby, because I was, like I said, I was losing weight at the time. When the symptoms, she said I felt like light as a feather, bro. Like, I think I was probably like, during that time, maybe high 60s, maybe. Because at the beginning of 8th grade, I don't remember how much I was. Probably like in the high 70s or maybe 80. So anyway, I remember I was screaming and crying. And I remember my stomach was hard as a rock, bro. Like, I remember my mom, she felt my stomach. It felt hard as a rock. I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything, bro. So I remember the doctors like rushed to me, like they turned me to the side, I guess, to try to relieve the pain. I couldn't move. I was screaming and crying. I was like, no, 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 don't do it. And I remember as soon as they did it, I was like dry heaving. I couldn't take the pain, bro. Like, I don't know why I was gagging. My brother was there. He was just silent the whole time. My mom was on the verge of tears. It was just a whole crap show. This crap hit the absolute fan. So I remember they said I needed immediately emergency surgery. I remember my mom called my dad. Like, she stepped out in the hallway, whatever. Hey, Nolan needs surgery. And my dad was at work, so he rushed over and they took me to the back room. I remember my shoulders hurting for some reason. I don't know why. And apparently during the surgery, they took out my appendix alongside because I didn't need it. And they had to stick out like my intestines in the side of my stomach, kind of like two little pink balls. I think they're called stomas. I'll put it up on the screen, but they had to do that to save my life. And I remember while I was in the surgery, my mom said that my dad was like in the hospital looking for us, looking around, and that he was mad, bro. I remember she said he was like, sitting in the hospital chair like this in the waiting room, just like just fuming, just holding in his anger. I remember the nurse came, talked to my dad like, "Hey, are you the father of Nolan?" He was like, "Don't talk to me." Like, she didn't even look. He didn't even look at the nurse. He was like, "Don't talk to me." And then the nurse was like, "Oh shoot!" And then mom spoke up like, "Yeah, I'm the mom." And then the nurse spoke to my mom. I don't know why. I remember when the surgery was done, I woke up in an ICU room, and I remember I was like, my eyes were barely open. I was like looking around, and I see my dad come in the room on the left side of me. And I remember I was hooked up to all these wires. I had to get a blood transfusion. I remember it was just, I had a catheter, my private part. Oh my gosh. I remember when they pulled that out later on, bro. That thing was painful, bro. I remember the first few peas burned so bad. If you had it, you know what I'm talking about. I hope none of you get that, bro. Oh my gosh. So anyway, I remember my dad walked in. On the right side is kind of like a couch area, I guess. Like a seat couch area. You just sitting there just like rubbing his head, his hat and all that. It's like the doctor's talking to him. Like, yeah, it's just frustrating, man. Like, it's frustrating. Like, I remember that part. I remember I was in ICU for like 13, 12 days. And then later on, they switched me to pediatrics to like 12, 13 days. In the total, I was in the hospital for like 25 days. I didn't get out till like August 2nd, I believe. Like a few weeks before school started. Like 3 weeks before my freshman year of high school started. My first day of high school. I went through this stuff, but I remember during the ICU, I couldn't do anything, bro. I was bedridden all day watching TV. I did have to do some walk therapy. Like, I barely walk. I was hunched, walking very slow. My stomach had scars on it that cut me open. I remember the one time my dad he popped his hip. It made like a doom noise. I laughed a little bit, and that thing hurt my stomach so bad. Like, that's how bad it was. I remember I couldn't eat or drink anything. In order for me to like drink water, I had to like suck on some like little ice cubes in a cup, in a styrofoam cup. I remember to eat something I had to have, I think they're called like Fun Pops, but like something like healthy medical Fun Pop. But I didn't like it. It was nasty. It was not good. I'll put it up on the screen to show what I'm talking about. Yeah, I remember I was having fevers and chills during that. My fevers like 102, 103, 104, I think. And then the chills, I remember they're so bad. They literally put like 4 or 5 blankets on me. I'd still be like shaking and cold, bro. I'd be telling them, put another one, get another blanket, get another blanket, get another blanket. Just telling them over and over again. So as I got better, the ICU later on, they switched me to pediatrics. I was in that room. I remember I had to like walk around that area, like laps, do some laps, walk therapy. I think my lowest at that point is like, I remember it was like 64 or 60. I remember I was in the low 60, bro. I was a twig. I remember, oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Remember how I talked about like those 2 stomas sticking out of my stomach? I had a poop bag, bro. They're showing my mom and dad demonstrating it in ICU how to do it. I legit had a poop out of my side of my stomach. I'll put it on the screen, you know what I'm talking, to show you what I'm talking about. I had to wear a diaper because like discharge would be coming out of my butt. It wasn't poop, more like discharge. I had that poop bag for 13 months. Yeah, I'll talk about that later. I had to drink like a certain water goal in a jug. I had to drink Pediasure, you know what I mean, just to get me right. I remember during the whole hospital visit, 25 days, my mom and dad had to switch back and forth, back and forth. My brother would like sleep the night, spend the day there, just hang with me. And so yeah, so whenever I was finally healthy enough to go home, they sent me home August 2nd. I remember they put like a needle on my arm. I had to wear like a white sleeve over it just so I don't get like infected, whatever, a patch over it. So I remember I went home, and when I was home, after 25 days, I finally saw my dog after like 25 days. I forgot to mention, I remember I was crying. I think it was like a therapy, like a therapist. They sent me a therapist, whatever. I remember I told her, I just broke down, like, I want to see my dog. It's funny, but I finally got home. I remember I had to, like I said, the tube. I had to, like, sleep with the tube on. It kind of looked like milk, like, you know, in a pouch. Cooked up to, like, a little machine. Had to have that, have that throughout the night. Remember, my parents had to get changing my poop bag every few days. I remember I'll get dehydrated easily because of my poop bag. I had to drink a lot of water. And then freshman year, bro, I had to wear my poop bag the entire freshman year, bro. I remember, like, we went in there like a few weeks before to like went to the nurse's office, telling my situation about my poop bag, and then like basically telling him, hey, like, allow the teachers to take Nolan, like, go to the bathroom whenever, like, he can go to the bathroom any moment, like, no excuse, like, if he says he has to go to the bathroom, let him go to the bathroom, because if I had to, like, change my bag and all that. So freshman year, I had to wear the bag, and this was my freshman year was the lockdown year, the 1920 year, the 2020 lockdown, so I didn't get to finish my entire freshman year. But I remember, bro, it sucked having that bag throughout freshman year. I remember I tucked it in my shirt because I didn't want no one to see it. I don't know if I ever changed my bag once in school. I feel like I did, actually. I remember there was times where I released air out of it, and that was a big mistake. If you're in that situation, do not do it because it reeked, bro. Like, even though I didn't really smell it because I kind of nose blind to the smell. I know they smelt it, bro. It's straight from my intestine. I know it smelled way worse. If it was like poop or whatever. Like, I don't know how, but it would fill up. I had to release the air. So fast forward to like June of 2020, around like when the Black Lives Matter thing was going on. I actually spent my 15th birthday in the hospital. Fun fact. 2020. I remember I went in there because I guess during the surgery, like 2019, I had some extra scar tissue that I needed to take off, and I don't know why they didn't take it off then. I don't remember why, but I had to get that removed. So I was in the hospital for a little bit, and they had to cut me open again with my scars. I don't remember how long I was in there. I was in there, I got out. I remember I was about to leave. signing all the paperwork, I felt like a weird pain inside of my stomach. I don't know what it was, so I left. And then it kept bothering me, bro. I think I went back, if I'm not mistaken. Like, yo, what's wrong with me? Like, honestly, I don't remember that part. Forgive me if I don't remember some of these details, because it's all like 4, 5, 6 years ago. Fast forward to August 2020. This was the moment when I finally got the poop bag removed. Like I said, I had it for 13 months. I had to deal with it during freshman year. Remember, this is during the NBA bubble. They finally put back in my stoma, so finally I didn't have to wear a poop bag anymore. I remember the first few times pooping was, I had to get used to it. It was painful. I remember I'd just be watching the NBA bubble there. I had a liquid diet at first, like chicken broth. It's nasty, bro. The hospital, bro, with the chicken broth, I think it's nasty, bro. And then they switched me over to a solid. Then I had a setback. Just like in 2020, like June, I had another setback with it. Like my stomach started hurting again. I'm like, what the heck? Like, why does this keep happening, man? Why am I having these setbacks for? I forgot why, but maybe my stomach, I felt like stocked up, like bloated, because maybe my stomach wasn't used to. My stomach had to get used to working again. My intestines, I'm assuming, because I didn't poop normally for 13 months. I had to use a bag for it. I remember I had to stay in longer. I'll never forget this. I remember my stomach was hurting so bad. It was the night when Damian Lillard dropped 61 points against the Mavericks in the bubble. And he had that deep three. It hit. It bounced up high, and then it went in. I remember during that moment I was in pain. I was like, ugh, ugh. Like it would go on and off. Like that sharp pain. Went home in 10th grade year. I did online schooling, 2020, 2021, sophomore year. And then I think I accidentally spoke into existence. I don't know why I did this. This was dumb of me, but I remember my mom one night was talking to her brother. I told him, like, hey, can you, like, prank him by saying, hey, like, Nolan needs surgery. And Nolan needs another surgery, like, he's stocked up. Which I don't know why I did this. I don't know what made me do it. But I think I actually spoke it into that existence. Because left death and life are in the power of the tongue. Because I remember May or April 2021, the night before I ate Taco Bell quesadilla, I felt stocked up. Remember that night I was in pain. Told my dad I gotta go to the hospital. Like it was hurting like in this upper area right here. Yeah, I gotta go to the hospital. So they went in, they checked me out. And remember the scar tissue back in June of 2020? Apparently, it finally like wanted to leave my body or whatever. I don't know how it works, but that happened, and plus the quesadilla, and my dad described it like a sink that's clogged. So remember they had to pump my stomach. I remember in the emergency room, bro, they put like a tube in my nose. I was screaming and crying, like they tell me keep swallowing. I couldn't do it, bro. Like, multiple times. Oh my gosh, bro. So I remember they transferred me to a different hospital. And I told them, hey, can you put me to sleep this time when it comes to putting the tube in? Because I'm not trying to feel that pain again. So they pumped my stomach. I went in the hospital, and I forgot how long I was in there for. I don't know if they cut me open again. I don't think so. I think I just stocked up. I remember, I think I got it. I think I got the food out and the stuff out, because I remember I threw it up like in a, all of a sudden I dry heave, like, oh, and then my dad rushed to get that blue like throw up bag. I threw up. It looked like the quesadilla and all that. I was like, hey, that's my dad's. Hey, that's good. And like, you finally got it out. I think it felt good, bro. So yeah, so that was the last experience I had with this Crohn's disease stuff. Like I said, I got diagnosed at 14. I'm currently 20 years old. I've been dealing with this for like 6 years now. And every 8 weeks, I gotta get Remicade. It's a medicine that pump liquid medicine in my veins. No, it's not a steroid. It's just medicine to keep me going. If I don't take it, then my symptoms will start popping back up again. So I need this bag. I need this medicine to basically manage my symptoms. And yeah, I just wanted to share this story with you guys because I felt led by the Holy Spirit to share this story because this is crazy, bro. Like, I hope this story inspires you to realize that if I can get through it, you can get through it too. Like we can get through anything, bro. This experience made me. I feel this experience shaped me to who I am today. Like, in terms of, if I can overcome this, I can overcome everything. This experience made me a warrior for God, bro. 100%, bro. Without this moment, I wouldn't be a warrior for God, bro. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, like, my diet is different for everybody. Some people have to eat a stricter diet, but for me, it's not really like that. I mean, I still eat healthy. I still try to eat as healthy as possible, but it's not like I'm super, super restricted. So do what works for you. So now every 8 weeks, I get medicine in me called Remicade. It's like a liquid medicine. They stick a needle in me. I sit there for like, it used to be like 2-3 hours, but now they speed it up. So now it's like hour and a half, 2 hours maybe, so shorter. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, this won't give me like a shorter life. I'll live like a normal, longer life as if I didn't have it. And I forgot to mention as well, I remember my doctor said like back then, he was seeing like more like adults with it, but now he's starting to see like more teenagers with it. So I forgot to mention that in the beginning. So now it's starting to reach like the young adults now. So anyway, I just want to share this story with you guys. Hopefully you learn something from this video. This inspires you to get through anything in life. I hope my story resonates with you. If you're going through the same thing, or if you've been through worse, I wanted to let you know you're not alone. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.